Good morning and welcome to Morning at NTV. My name is Idris Matu and this is Everyday Life. Now, learning is something simple, but it's very important. We do it in class, we do it at the job, we do it in our social life. Now, in studio today, I have Lois Nachiwuka, who is a teacher and a counseling psychologist. Well, Miss Lois,
yes,
you are welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm extremely excited to be here.
All right. Is it your first time on TV?
Yes,
well,
TV.
you are now a superstar. Now, Lois, tell us about yourself. You are a teacher, you are a counseling psychologist. What does that involve? What's your day like?
My day involves changing the future by touching the brains of the children who will be living in the future and you know, shaping it.
Yeah.
And making the future rather. And so right now, what I do is I prepare students to do tests well.
Yeah.
Tests like the SATs for the American universities,
Yeah.
IELTS for the British Council, as well as TOEFL. And so that varies. But it's all very exciting. And I must say, we must be very worried for the education here because the craze is that people want to go and learn abroad.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. But I enjoy it tremendously because I get to speak to all these students and find out what's going on, what is trending, one in the learning sector, but in the lives of the students who are going to make the future. Will they come back? What will they pick? And so on. And I love that very much.
Do most students want to come back?
They don't see themselves
coming back.
No, they don't see themselves as coming back, and we must be very afraid.
Why do you think so many people believe education is better elsewhere but not in Uganda? Research
and statistics suggests that education elsewhere is over 50 years or so ahead of Uganda.
Yeah.
Uganda's education curriculum. That's not me. Yeah. But, you know, having taught in a UNEB schools I taught at Kaboja, I have also taught extensively at Rainbow International School for 10 years and 7 months to be precise.
Okay.
And then I went to Kigali, Rwanda and taught, well, for a year or so. Yeah. And the research is quite correct in terms of what is the approach to what do we need in our education to be able to survive and compete appropriately.
Nationwide, worldwide,
because it's a global village.
And we don't have the skills.
We
that's
do.
What you're saying.
I am not saying that UNEB is not doing a good job. It does.
Yeah, but it could do better.
Oh, yes. The biggest room in our curriculum is a room for improvement. It's very spacious. I remember when teachers write on our reports and they say, there's room for improvement. But now I'm holding a book, a very interesting book called How Do You Learn Best? Right.
Have fun, improve your memory fast. And at the back, there's another title, which is actually upside down, which says Learn to Remember. Effective memory methods for everyone, every time. Now, just starting at the back. How do you learn best?
How do you learn best? All right. May I just say that this is a major title.
The major title, okay. Learn to Remember. Learn to Remember.
Effective memory techniques for everyone, every time. How cool is that?
Okay.
Everybody needs to remember, you know.
Yeah. And
as the title suggests, is about memory methods that you can use to help you remember 150%. These are researched, guaranteed methods that actually work. As a psychologist, I made it my concern to find out, how does our brain work? How does information get into our minds? How can we make it stay? UNEB requires that you keep information, reproduce it. You are you get into uni or wherever. And if that is the case, you can do that using these methods. However, these methods also require that you have understood the information first. So it is not cram work, as some people have suggested. It is not cram work. And so it's a great tool for any student who needs to remember upper primary, it's very suitable. The language is very easy to use, easy to remember, to apply.
Yeah.
It's quite very highly illustrated. We took a lot of time picking the right illustrations, and here it is. Now, before you learn to remember, you need to know how do you learn best. These pictures look very juvenile, but they actually, this is a technique of remembering, which is storytelling.
Okay.
Now, in here, how do you learn best? What is your learning style, Idris?
I don't know. What are the learning styles?
You can be either a visual learner, so you learn best when you see things. You're excited when you see charts, diagrams, mind maps. You can also be a learner who learns excellently through hearing. And others learn best when they type things. For instance, practical lessons work excellently for them.
Or
and
even writing? Is that part of that?
Oh, yes, very much so. So God is amazing. I must come back to this. Extremely so. He made us unique. You know that your earlobe is unique to yourself. There's nobody else with this earlobe.
Yeah, like a fingerprint.
Your iris, your tongue, those whorls on your tongue are unique to yourself. Why do we think that we're going to be learning the same way? Not possible. So each one of us has a unique learning style that we must first know. So you get a copy of this book, for instance, you would get the questionnaire, you would get and fill it in and discover what your learning style would be, as well as a description of what, if you're a visual learner, you're excited by color, you work best with mind maps, and so on. And also, for memory, how can you actually improve your memory? You know, memory brain gym. Yeah, you can do that. And that is all in this very easy to use book, easy to read.
Well, you, when you're talking about this book, you mentioned kids, primary, secondary kids. Does
university as well.
University. Does the book only apply to students, or we can actually use it even in a workplace? For example, if you're teaching information to an employee or staff or something, is the book also applicable for that?
Oh, very much so. Like I said, these methods have been tested and proved worldwide. Okay. What this book has done is to apply them into our Ugandan context, yes, and make it relevant to anybody who needs to remember information. So, for instance, mind maps can be used by anyone, from primary to university to a workplace. You can also use color. You can color code stuff. You can use sticky notes to put on your table, on your notice board, and you're able to remember things in your workplace, for instance. Music. Why do we imagine that the babies who know nothing can learn the entire alphabet and numbers through songs? And then right now, we don't think we can remember things? Look at people in church. They can sing the entire hymn book. Meaning, if we set information that we need to recall to a song, the rhythm and rhyme sticks into our brains, and that pattern will help us remember whatever you need to remember.
All right. For example, if I am a visual learner, how does that work?
Well, for instance, you know very well that color excites you. And you're bound to remember things if they're in different colors. For instance, if I am talking about, well, let's say, history of the Bantu migration. Why did they shift from wherever? I could put all the social factors in blue and the internal factors in red and so on. In a mind map. Then I'll draw links, hands that link to all these different points. And that sticks so well in my mind. If I am a visual learner and I'm at a workplace, I am doing a course in, say, IELTS, I need to remember the vocabulary that needs to be done. I could put, say, for instance, words of comparison that have to do with decreasing stuff. I could write them in yellow, highlight them in yellow, or, you know, my notes in yellow. I could draw stuff, pictures at the margin of the page, and all that works for visual learners. If you're a touch learner, definitely you need to write, but you can also have things that you can touch. You can create small notes that you can
yellow notes.
Yes, yellow, pink,
Yeah.
which we call flashcards.
Yeah.
So you have what is organizational psychology or management. That is the term. And at the back of that card, you have the definition. So that keeps you moving. So
you know,
read
when you mention about this, I imagine in corporate companies they have pitching sessions where you're pitching to the client this and that.
Right.
And in your presentation, you're using all these visuals to make sure that your client actually remembers the information you're giving them, or give them a notebooks to actually help them understand that this is what I'm saying, and probably when we are done with the meeting, you're able to remember everything that I have said. Now, where do I get this book?
Uganda Bookshop has it.
Uganda Bookshop.
Angelina Bookshop has lots of copies. I've made it. I am, as you can see, very passionate about this because I know very well that this will change a lot of what we learn.
Yeah.
Look, the students, how can the same teacher teach the same student and 50% of them fail? It's the same, you know, situation, environment, meaning it's possible that some children are not being engaged because their learning style is different. It is not verbal. It is not a lecture method. They need to, you know, see and touch and move and be mixed up. And so we do sessions for teachers, and in that process they can access these books. We also do sessions for candidates, especially candidate classes, because they're very close to the exams, and they need to remember so they can pass and be up there in the newspapers and all. So we do that very much. So you want me to give the number?
Yeah, you can. You can if a website, or if I can buy the book on the website or Amazon or something. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Our website is called andlawsmartoptions.com. We're also on Facebook. That is Andlaw Smart Options.
And spelled? How's that spelled?
That is A-N-D-L-O. Just like you see here.
A-N-D-L-O Smart Options.
Options, yeah.
And what do they do?
Practical, effective education solutions, such as answers to our learning needs, our remembering needs. We also do deal with students who are struggling because they have learning conditions, autism, dyslexia, dyscalculia, you know, the fear of maths and it's how it works, and so on. So we assess the students, after which we recommend to the parents, to the students, intervention techniques that actually work. Yes, but then we also, because, well, students need to go abroad, there's nothing we're going to do about that. So we prepare them to do the English proficiency tests like TOEFL, SATs, IELTS, very, very well. And they go on to ACE and shine and hopefully come back and make all the difference that we need.
Do you have like a room or a facility that you can come to and learn these things? Oh,
yes, at Kololo, opposite the airstrip. Plot 1, Nyonyi Gardens. It's called Fan Day Learning Center.
And the number to call?
Is 0702 189 115.
Repeat that, please.
0702 189 115. And the other one is 0776 983060. That is the WhatsApp one.
Okay.
That is the 0776 983060. Or andlawsmartoptions.com.
And andlawsmartoptions.com.
That is right.
And well, to learn better. And before we go, because we are out of time, I would like to ask, there's some students who come out and say, I don't understand math. Whenever I sit in the classroom, I see the numbers, they're flying around here and there, what. Is that a problem also of the style of learning? Probably it's not visual, you need to listen or touch or something?
you probably need to set the concepts to music. You know, there's lots of music in. I think the approach is what makes a difference.
Yeah, the approach. So
The
to
teaching
the teachers,
approach.
so you need to teach teachers and how to teach. Because I remember one time I had a teacher, I will not say who, but they made me dislike a subject. And I liked the subject, but they could not make me understand it. And I totally failed the subject. And to date, I still hold a grudge.
Let's go.
But
let's go.
I have let go. I'm joking. But anyway, if you really, really want to learn best, how to learn best, a book is available. You can go to Uganda Bookshop and get yourself a copy. It has two titles. It's How Do You Learn Best and also Learn to Remember. People who have difficulties on learning things and maybe remembering them, maybe it's the book that will help you. This could be a chance to learn better. Either you are a student, either you are a worker, an employee, anywhere. This is a book for you. How much is it?
Oh, on this one is 5,000 and this one is 5,000.
Also, it's 10,000. Very cheap, very affordable. Well, to continue the conversation, just go to our website, which is www.ntv.co.ug, or go to our social media pages. That is a lookout for Facebook or Twitter. And you just type in Morning at NTV or NTV Uganda. Now, to talk to me directly, go to Idris Matu and talk to me. Tell me what you want to know more. And probably you want to buy this book. Go there and tell me, and I'll forward you the directions and all the contacts. Now, coming up next is Master Mtia. Have a very good morning.